There's some people you just can't get enough of, and Danny Arroyo is one of those.
Part two, yay.
So we finished our last conversation. We were talking about movies and that you enjoy going to the movies, and you've had the opportunity to be at certain screenings where actors that were in those films participated. And I thought, yeah, that's got to be pretty cool.
Yes, I couldn't recommend it enough. Whenever I have friends or family visit, I always look to see what was playing, and I always like to bring them there. In fact, that's something I really do enjoy doing with a lot of friends. You know, because there's certain movies that deserve to be seen on the big screen, like Godfather, Lawrence of Arabia. You can't appreciate that at home. That needs to be on the big screen. 2001: Space Odyssey. So whenever I knew that those films were playing, I always made it a point to call some friends and go, "Have you ever seen so and so film?" And would bring them to the screening and would enjoy the experience of watching them and feeling them experience this for the first time, and then talk about it afterwards. So that's something I still do. I mean, not now with the quarantine, but I loved doing for years and years and years and years. So really some great fond memories of that with my friends.
I think I read, I don't know if it was that film, that there's a film, may think it is that one, that you like to go with someone who's never seen it to get their reaction for the
Yeah,
first time.
it would be those films right there. It would be like the Godfathers and the Lawrence of Arabia's, and you know, the Das Boot, and the Casablanca. I mean, who hasn't seen Casablanca? But some haven't. But maybe some have never seen it. Maybe some have seen it only on TV, but now view it in a theater of fans who. This is my favorite thing. I love the fans that get so into that they applaud and cheer. I have friends of mine who hate that. I love it. It just raises the intensity. I mean, you know, you love the film, and all of a sudden you see, you know, a good part's going to come up, and the audience is like, woo, and we're cheering, and all of a sudden your energy rises. You're going, this is why I come and watch movies on the big screen, because of this. Close Encounters on the big screen. I mean, you know, Empire Strikes Back on the big screen kicks watching it at homes, but 100% of the time. You know, Superman the movie, you know?
I saw that for part two, you changed shirts. I gotta say, I don't, as I, you got my support, but I don't know that I want to see Bite in the big screen.
Oh, it looks great on the big screen. It looks great. I've seen it on the big screen at least 6 or 7 times now with film festivals. You know what's a great feeling? Knowing, having seen the film so many times, where you expect the laugh to come and you know it's like around this time it's going to come, and then you hear it. It's great. The reverse is knowing usually where a laugh is going to come and you're waiting for it and they don't. Just, that's just, it's painful. And it makes you then think going, do I need to re-edit? Do I need to do anything? No, sometimes it's the crowd and it's whatever. And, you know, you go with the average. More people laughed than didn't. Keep it, you know, but it can be painful.
Well, speaking of Bite, I know you're working on other projects, so talk to us about them.
Well, I mean, see, I mentioned Switch That Love, which is my romantic comedy that I filmed in Atlanta. That's hopefully coming out sometime this year. There is a trailer. Nobody's Angels, previously titled Branded. Is another one that hopefully will come out this year. And Sangre Negra right now is the big one. You know, we're in the final editing stages of that. And then, you know, I'm auditioning now, which is really interesting because there's more auditions at home. I don't go to the auditions, so I'm auditioning a lot here. Got the lights, got the equipment. I mean, I'm hoping when the gigs get booked that it's a safe environment. I mean, obviously everybody's gonna have to be tested. You can't just assume. But then what happens? Yeah, I'm thinking out loud now. What happens day two when everybody goes home? Do we come back and get tested again and then go back to filming? I mean, it's a whole thing, you know. I mean, this thing is still here. We don't have a vaccine yet, so I mean, I'd love to go back to work, but I also want everybody to be safe. So I don't know what to expect or I don't know.
I know I heard one of the soap operas, The Bold and the Beautiful, went back. And if I'm not mistaken, I think after the first, if I read correctly, after the first day of shooting, I believe someone tested positive, but they had to kind of pause again.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I miss that. but there's so much other stuff that's happening. I mean, you kind of things fall in the crack, but I didn't even know that. So, I mean,
No, I agree with you. Yeah, it
I
seems
mean,
like we're
maybe
the
the
cautious ones because
yeah.
yeah, I plan to kind of lay low for the next.
I mean, there's plenty of other things to do. I mean, like I said, I am writing. I mean, as much as you can learn and do your own stuff, and that's great. But thank goodness I have the writing, so I can do that. And I am writing my own screenplay. I have a romantic comedy called Lonely Saturday Night Syndrome that I am writing. Um, the premise of that is um, when you are in a relationship, usually Saturday nights are always something that you do with your significant other. What happens when you're no longer with that person? Because during the week, you know have work, you have classes, you have whatever, so they can kind of more or less keep you busy. But here comes Saturday nights, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, what do I do? And that's when usually the times where the most bad things will happen because you may reach out to that ex or something because you're lonely. So that's what I I wrote this, and it's called Lonely Saturday Night Syndrome because Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week when you're going through a breakup. And it's about people who have gone through breakups and what they do to try to, cope and get by and figure out until they're better, you know. Based on a lot of stories that I interviewed a lot of my friends and myself who have gone through breakups. How did you feel? What happened to you? What was your experience? How did you get past it? Why did it happen? So I just took all these stories and I made it into this really, really fun script that have the outline completely done, and I'm about 60 pages in, and I think another like 35 or 40 more pages, and then it'll be done.
That's a great idea. I think everyone can relate to that.
Yeah, yeah,
Unfortunately,
yes. That's like I said, write about what you know, and I really do like writing. I can be very dramatic, but I really do like comedy very much. I like writing comedy and performing that and making people laugh as I make them think. So that's what this is. And Bite could have been so much a horror. I had many friends who said, make it the horror, make it the Exorcist of bed bugs. And I was like, yeah, but who'd want to see that again and again and again? I want people to laugh and learn. And so I have that nice thing about me where I like writing funny as I tell a story.
clearly you enjoy films. Is there a particular line from a particular movie that you find yourself quoting or that you remember, verbatim?
My goodness, what I'll share something with you. Only my really close friends know this, and it's not like a big deal. It's not a big deal, but I have almost 5,000 plus movie and TV quotes on my phone. If there is a film that I like, a particular speech, a particular quote, something that made me laugh, if I don't take my phone to record it, so I have it, I'll look online for that scene and then download it, have it on my phone. So on my phone, I have a lot of self-help, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Abraham Hicks, then I have music, you name it. I have audiobooks, you name it. And then I have 5,000 quotes that just randomly play. And all of a sudden I could be jogging and, having just listened to, let's say, Marvin Gaye. And then the next quote is from The Godfather or from Lawrence of Arabia, some random thing there that I like. So I have many quotes, and friends of mine will know me. Every now and then we're having a conversation. Something will spark in me that reminds me of something in a film, and I'll say a quote randomly, and someone will go, "That was from a movie, right? Because where did that come from?" I was like, "Yeah, it is." So so people after a while they get to know me. They know that about me. I'll just randomly say a quote.
My thought is, what voice plan do you have that you get that much gigabytes?
Yeah, I have. Well, I mean, I got the iPhone. I got like the 256, whatever gigabyte there.
I
So
take too many photos and I'm done.
I mean, yeah, I made sure when I got my phone, I had one with enough space and whatnot. But I have it all on my iTunes. It's not on iCloud. I just put it on my iTunes, put it on my phone, and there it is. And yeah, yeah, a
As
lot
I
of
was
fun stuff.
doing I shared with you that I was going to do a little digging on you, and actually
Oh.
there were a few movies, but one that's one of my favorites that I saw that, well, I don't know if my digging was accurate or not, but One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I was like, oh, that one, and I
Yeah.
couldn't think of any quotes. I mean, I remember some very clear scenes of that movie that I
Mhm.
loved. Do you have a favorite shot in that particular movie?
Yes. Um, the ending scene with Chief and McMurphy, after McMurphy has come back, don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of great scenes there. But that scene moves me at the end because it's the Chief is waiting for McMurphy to come back. I don't know how long McMurphy has been gone for, but long enough that he's had a frontal lobotomy and he's no longer the man who he is. So it could have been, 2 weeks, it could have been a month, it could have been however long. But in that time, the Chief is waiting for him to come back because now he's ready to escape. And then he sees his friend is like that. And then, he takes the line that is just, and it's just it's just a couple words, just a simple line. It's, he says, I'm not going to leave you here. And then he takes a second and he goes, let's go. And it's just that. And then he takes the pillow and ends his suffering. And then he's going to be with him and he escapes. And that's the best. I mean, that's just a simple, he says, let's go. His friend is going to go with him in a different way, but he's going to go with him. I thought that's amazing. Amazing.
I think the fact that it stirs up emotion. I mean, I think as an actor, that's what you do. Like you were saying, when I asked you, do you like to be in front of the camera or behind the camera? And you said, well, I'm not sure if it's my ego, but no, I get it. Like, sometimes friends of mine will tease me because I enjoy things in front of the camera. I enjoy performing. And I had to think about it because I was wondering, I wasn't sure. I was like, why do I enjoy that? And then it was very simple. It's like, I love to make someone smile. Mm-hmm. Whatever it may be doing, or to know that you engage them for a few minutes. There's something so lovely when you see that smile, that look that someone gave you, that, you made them react, or they're not thinking about what they had thought of, or maybe they had a long day and they, I don't know, maybe a phrase that I sang, or a moment that I danced, or watching this interview. Maybe somebody watches it and gets entertained, and they're watching Bite then, and and I think it's that stirring up an emotion, because like you said, it's a short, quick scene.
And it doesn't matter how long ago it was filmed. That Cuckoo's Nest came out in what, 76, won Best Picture, and here we are talking about it, and still as emotionally invested and involved. I mean, there's a million things I can mention in that film that I love. When the Chief first speaks, McMurphy offers him a piece of gum. He's like this, and the Chief goes, "Thank you," like just under his breath, just enough, and you just see, Jack Nicholson go, like, it was. There's so many. I had the privilege of seeing that film on the big screen 10 years ago. The Motion Picture Academy was doing this really amazing thing where every Monday night they would show the best picture in order, starting from Wings from 1927 or 28, all the way through to, so we're talking like 75, 80 weeks of, a movie. And then what they would do is they would either bring the actors, actresses, directors, producers, whoever that were part of that film to be there. And if no one was around, like they say, Gone with the Wind, most of the people had passed away, they would bring the family members and stuff. Oh. And we got to see, so for Cuckoo's Nest, did Nurse Ratched go there? Nurse Ratched showed up, Louise Fletcher, Jack wasn't there. It's been a while, I don't remember. Maybe the guy who played Billy Bibbit was there. But I mean, come on, watch the movie and then see them there talking about it. You can't beat it, When they showed Rocky, Stallone showed up, Talia Shire, Burt Young, they were all there. It was great.
Very cool. Well, I shared with you before we started the interview that I had a little surprise and a little fun that I wanted to have.
Okay.
I've never done this with a guest. So we know your love for movies. We touched a little bit on meditation. Some people may have heard some subtleties that we were discussing. We primarily had the conversation offline, but you have an interest in meditation and comic books, which you did touch upon. So bear with me.
Yes.
I'm prepared with sound effects. I don't know how this is going to work. Well, let's see. I need my sound effects. No, where's my sound effects?
Okay.
Wait. Folks, bear with me 1 second when you're on Zoom. And
oh, good.
Welcome to Comic Book Trivia with Danny Arroyo.
Oh, we're
So,
doing this.
Danny,
Okay. Comic book trivia.
we're going to do a little comic book trivia. I will read a question to you. You will have 4 answers to select from. And if you get the right answer, you will hear this sound. Forgive me, I need to find the sound. That will be the correct sound. However, if you get the wrong sound, if you get the wrong question, if you get the wrong answer.
Okay.
So let's see how good you are at comic book trivia.
Okay. I'll hold my iPad for good luck. Here we go.
That's funny. Question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
What Chester Gould character made his first appearance in the Detroit Free Press on October 4th, 1931? Is it A, Flash Gordon, B, Dick Tracy, C, Buck Rogers, or D, Superman?
It's not Superman because he was 1939. I'm gonna say it's either Buck Rogers or Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon. Buck Rogers came after Flash Gordon, I think. I'm gonna say Flash Gordon.
Wrong answer, Danny.
Was I wrong on all?
The correct answer is Dick Tracy. Chester Gould's immortal Dick Tracy made his first appearance in the Detroit Free Press on October 5th, 1931. Modeled after the innovative Sherlock Holmes, Dick Tracy introduced the world to new crime-fighting technologies such as the two-way wrist TV and the engineless car that took the detective to the moon.
Hey, I knew that Superman came out in 1939, so dang, wow.
You thought this interview was going to be easy, huh?
Okay.
Question number 2.
I won't forget that now.
Now you can add this to your phone. Question number 2.
Okay.
Edwin Jarvis serves as butler to what super team? A, Teen Titans, 2, Fantastic Four, 3, Avengers, or 4, Justice League?
That would be right here, Iron Man's guy, Avengers.
I'm trying to get my button. Correct. Avengers. When Iron Man or Tony Stark first joined the Avengers, he offered his family mansion as the team's headquarters. Since that day, Jarns, the Stark family butler, has maintained his residence in the mansion and has served as better to Earth's mightiest heroes. Very good.
You tossed me a softball on that one, but thank you for that. Yeah.
Question number 3. Who was the first costume superhero? A, Crimson Avenger, B, the Phantom, C, Superman, or D, Arrow?
It's not Arrow. What was A again?
A, Crimson Avenger, B, the Phantom, C, Superman, or D, Arrow?
I would say, did Phantom come before Superman? There's no way. Phantom. I'm gonna go with Phantom.
Correct.
Okay.
The Phantom. The Phantom was the first fictional hero to wear the skin-tight costume, which has become a hallmark of comic book superheroes. He first appeared in a daily newspaper strip on February 17th, 1936. You're doing pretty well.
That was all right. 2 out of 3 so far.
Let's see. What character teamed up with a different hero in almost every issue of The Brave and the Bold? Is it... Uh-oh.
Okay. Wow. Brave and the Bold has been around since like the 50s. Like Batman and Superman have been like in those issues all the time. Wonder Woman.
I don't have my choices. I only have the answer. It must be on a separate piece of paper that I don't have at the moment. But take a guess.
Let me take a guess. What character has been in
So what
Three.
character teamed up with a different hero in almost every issue of The Brave and the Bold?
It's going to be either Batman or Superman. So I'll go with, I'll say Superman.
Ah,
Is it Batman?
yes.
Batman? Okay.
Considering I didn't give you any choices.
No, I feel fine. I knew it was one of those two because they're the ones that have been around the longest. Yeah.
Although The Brave and the Bold started out as an anthology series featuring characters such as Robin Hood and the Viking Prince, beginning with issue number 59, it became a team-up title featuring Batman and a different hero each month.
Nice.
My
Nice.
last one, I'm realizing that I have an answer, but I don't have the options, so you can take a guess.
No, let's take a guess. Let's do it.
Who was Elvis Presley's favorite superhero? Actually, I'll make up some answers.
No, wait.
Well, let's see. Is it A, Flash Gordon, C, Dick Tracy, A, Flash Gordon, B, Dick Tracy, C, Buck Rogers, or D, Captain Marvel Jr.?
It's a great question. It wouldn't be Dick Tracy. It wouldn't. Flash Gordon, wasn't that a little more before his time, maybe? I'll go with, it's such a random thing when you said that the Captain Marvel Jr. Is that you said Captain Marvel Jr.? Is that what you said? Such a random one compared to the other three that came out. I'm gonna go Captain Marvel Jr.
Correct.
The other three were so, yeah.
Elvis Presley loved reading comic books as a boy. His favorite hero was Captain Marvel Jr. In fact, according to legend, it was the character that inspired his jet black hair with the curl hanging down in the middle of his forehead.
Hmm. That was fun. Okay, I got trivia for you. Obviously, you know who my favorite superhero is right now.
Wait, my wedding music.
Oh, so I got 4 out of 5. So here's my trivia. Obviously, you know who my favorite superhero is right now. That's cool. But who was my favorite superhero growing up? And still is to this day, but this guy now is number 1. But who was growing up back in the day?
The movies about him or her?
Yes. Movies, there's been cartoons, everything.
I was gonna say, does he have a superpower? But of course he does.
Yes, he had a superpower, and he was my favorite growing up.
Has he been named in any of the questions?
No.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man. Yep.
I'm giving myself the correct answer.
Give yourself that credit. Yeah. Spider-Man for me growing up was my favorite. That's who I collected mostly. In my collection, I had Spider-Man's number 1 through 500, all his titles, and sold my collection in order to start my career.
Oh, how nice. Well, I have to admit, the only reason I guessed Spider-Man was because I wasn't big into superheroes, but Spider-Man used to come on like around 4 p.m. So I remember I'd try to get my homework done so I could watch Spider-Man.
There you go.
And also, I don't remember, I'm really not into comic books. Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock, the Invisible Plane with all not the invisible,
That's Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What were they called, or what was that called?
Oh, the Super Friends.
The Super Friends.
Yeah.
I remember I'd get up early Saturday mornings because I think it was at 9 a.m. they would air it, and those were like the 2 that I'd watch. And I actually did watch Batman, I don't know if there was a cartoon growing up, but the character, and yeah, I really don't know names of comic books.
That's all right. Yeah, there was a lot of Batman comics. There was
the movie, not the movie. It was around 4:30 also that they would air the show.
There was a ton of Batman cartoons. I mean, from the 60s on, I mean, to this day, you know, so yeah, if you're saying you saw a cartoon, I believe you, because there's always a Batman cartoon, always a Spider-Man, always a Superman, always.
So now, if you check your email, you actually won, you have a prize for winning the comic book trivia. So if you check your email, I don't know if you have your phone handy. I want to see your reaction to your prize.
Let me see. Oh, see, look what I have on my phone. See.
You're not kidding.
Let me see. you sent me a prize. That's very kind of you. I guess I should turn my my internet back on.
No,
I didn't want to. I don't want the phone to
no,
ring.
we appreciate it. Everything's more or less turned off over here. But I wanted to make sure, you see, if you were in person, I'd hand you some type of prize. So I had to make up the prize.
Oh, there it is. I see it on my computer. Very cool.
So for those who may be wondering, yeah, oh, let's see now, you can't, well, wait. You got a trophy.
There it is.
Comic book trivia winner, Danny Arroyo. Woo!
I like that. You definitely do more of that on your interviews.
Well, that's why you may have wondered why I was asking, because I asked him some questions, you know, like hobbies, things that you enjoy doing, because I wanted to make it fun. And I was like, meditation? Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with meditation. I thought maybe if you said cooking, I was going to turn this into a cooking segment.
Yeah, I wouldn't be good at that. But I barely just pepper my food.
The options you gave me, I thought comic book, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do with comic books? And I'm starting to channel Jimmy Fallon. So if you had said TikTok, maybe I would have given you a dance-a-thon or something. We would have competed.
I don't even have TikTok on my phone. Look, I just got Zoom today so I can have this meeting with you.
I moved you into a new century with Zoom.
I'm here. I'm ready to do it.
I found some trivia, and the trivia was who do I give credit to? Who provided the trivia questions?
They were great questions. They were hard ones too, some of them, yeah.
It was an online site that I came across, and it seemed fairly reputable. So I was like, this will work. But thank you for playing comic book trivia. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day as I guess we're in somewhat semi-quarantine.
Yeah, I think we're going to get back into more of a quarantine. I hear they're shutting more things down. So let's keep hoping and sending out that good vibe to the world that we get past this.
No, stay safe. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I've been showing something to Danny during our breaks before we started, and it seems like a lovely way to end the segment.
Yes,
Well,
you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. Absolutely.
It seems fitting, in fact, in light of everything that's happening.
Yeah, it does. Just stay safe, and everybody else watching out there, we will get past this. Things will get better. Just during quarantine, just do the best you can to just be and maybe come out of this a better person than you were when you went in.
Absolutely. Abrazos, saludos, solamente en español. Hugs, kisses, only in Spanish. Next interview, watch them in Spanish.
Yes, well, I'll be better. I'm going to work on it.
Danny, it's been a pleasure. Stay safe. Look forward to talking to you real soon.